look in. Shane, congratulations. Well done.
Thanks a million, John. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Were you getting into the water at 3:30 on Monday morning? How were you feeling? Were you apprehensive? Were you scared? Were you confident?
I would say apprehensive and scared. The confidence kind of left me a wee bit, to be perfectly honest. Because you're on the boat at 3 a.m. and it's a 3-mile boat journey down the coast to try and get the right tide. And all you can see is just darkness in front of you, other than the lights that are shining out in the boat. And obviously the boat's not small enough to come into the coast, so you must get into a dinghy then. Part of the stipulations or the rules are that it's a non-wetsuit swim. So you're in a pair of Speedos, one hat, one pair of goggles, and that's it. And I guess the big thing that I didn't necessarily factor in, I knew the water was going to be cold, but it was 17 degrees. So that was pretty good, because you mentioned the qualifying swim. The qualifying swim had to be done in sub 15, and we did it in Portneuf in 14.8 Celsius. So the temperature in the water was like 2.5 degrees warmer than it was in Portneuf, but I didn't factor in the air temperature. And the air temperature at that time in the morning in Dover was like 6-7 degrees. So I got a real chill at the start of the swim, and I had that chill the whole way. And the first 2 hours were just horrendous. They were just horrific. I didn't want to be there. I just wanted to get out. And I looked up at my boat crew at about the 2-hour mark. So I had set out a feeding schedule, because you have to be fed from the boat. You're not allowed to touch the boat. You're not allowed out of the water. So you're basically being fed on a string, and it's liquid energy and Snickers and energy bars and gels. So I had my first feed after 90 minutes, and then it was a feeding schedule of every 45 minutes. And at the 2-hour mark, I looked up, and there was 3 people standing. There was my friend Jane, there was my best mate Neil, who's been on the journey with me for 2 years, and then there was my wife Karen, who's been on the journey with me forever. And they just all looked at me and they said, "You have to keep going." And Karen just shouted. She was like, "Look, it's sunrise. Sunrise is coming." She says, swim until it's light, and then see how you feel." And thankfully, that was the darkest moment that I had, and I could see the pink light on the horizon. And I was like, actually, this is giving me a bit of a lift now. And then when the sun came, then it made a hell of a lot of difference. There was a few other moments, but after that, I never thought about getting out. I never thought about not finishing. Right. But yeah, at that 3:30 in the morning, the confidence was just absolutely shot, just full of self-doubt, full of apprehension, full of fear.
So they could tell at the 2-hour mark that it was touch and go.
Yeah, they knew. And I looked up, and they couldn't see, obviously, because it was dark. I had goggles on. I have to be honest, I had tears in my eyes. I was like, look, and John, I'm an out-and-out pool swimmer, I've just swam almost 42K in the English Channel, and I'm still not a sea swimmer, and I'll never be a sea swimmer, So I was like, I was dreaming of the 25 degrees chlorinated waters of the Virgin Active in Fulham or Rivers of Otters in Strabane, and I was like, no, this is not for me. Just take me out now. I'm done. But thankfully I stayed in, and I lasted another 9.5 hours, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I suppose it would have been such a shame, and I'm sure this part of this was going through your head, and that you'd done all the training, and I'm sure you've trained for, I don't know for how long for this, but you've done all the training and all the hard work and all the prep, and everybody's there, and to back out. It would have been just such a letdown and such a disappointment for you and others. So small things like that probably go through your head and determine, what you do and whether you should push on or not.
Sorry, John, I think I just lost you there.
All right. What I'm saying is to have put in so much effort to get to that point, 2 hours in, it would have been such a shame to just to get back on the boat.
Oh, absolutely. And I think at one count I had swam the best part of from kind of January, February this year, and that's not counting what I'd done the previous year. I'd swam almost 500 kilometers, 500,000 meters. And as a competitive pool swimmer, international swimmer, I mean, that I would have probably.
Yeah, well, Shane's the link to Shane seems to have stalled there, so that's a shame. Maybe we could.
It's a different type.
Trying to Shane just back on the phone as opposed to in a video link, just to finish the conversation, because it's It is some achievement, being able to cross the channel. In fact, fewer people have swam the English Channel than have climbed Mount Everest. So